Hi everyone, good morning. Welcome to VIHASA. Today we're going to look at the positivity module part 3. So as some of you might know, we meet once a month on a Sunday. Usually it's the second Sunday of the month for 2 hours in the morning to recharge ourselves. And just a little bit of an introduction to what we're doing here. This is the VIHASA workshop. VIHASA stands for Values in Healthcare, a Spiritual Approach. And this entire workshop was designed by the Janki Foundation, which is a sister concern of the Brahma Kumaris and is based out of the UK. So they created this entire module, a group of doctors, healthcare professionals, psychologists, therapists, everyone came together, and over a course of 4 years, they met and they designed this entire workshop. So originally, it was the inspiration of Dadi Janki, who was the administrative head of the Brahma Kumaris, and she was at the NHS hospital once in London, and she saw that the doctors and the caregivers there were under so much stress that she thought, what kind of care can people who are themselves under so much stress give? So she wanted to do something to alleviate their stress. And that is why this entire workshop was created by her inspiration from that one incident. But even though originally it was created for healthcare professionals, because we work with values, it is applicable to all of us, because all of us as human beings, we work with values in different aspects of our lives. So if you see the principles of VIHASA, um, it the first one is heal thyself. So the emphasis of this workshop is on self-care and personal development. So what kind of care are we giving ourselves emotionally, mentally, spiritually? The second principle of Vihasa is learning through experience. This is unlike any other workshop. It's a very, very different format in the sense that you're not just going to come here and listen to a lecture and then just go back, but it's going to be interactive. It's going to be a lot of sharing of our experiences, learning from each other, learning from the group wisdom. So we share our experiences with each other and we learn from them. We learn from other people's experiences. We get insights into our own past experiences. And so, as facilitators, we will only be guiding or facilitating the session and we'll all be learning together. So, I request you all to be open to sharing and just being very open in this entire experience. Relevance to work is the third principle of VIHASA. So we're not just going to talk about, we should be positive, but how do I actually bring about a change in my everyday life at work? So how do I take situations from my actual work life and I try to apply my learnings in a very practical way. So that is another thing that VIHASA does, wherein it's very relevant to our actual lives and it's something that we figure out. There's action planning involved. Okay, so these are the principles of VIHASA. There are 8 modules that have been designed in VIHASA, and each module is a full 1-day program. However, it was originally designed for face-to-face workshop, like a full day workshop from 9 to 5. But because of COVID, we went online. And so now we break up each module into 3 or 4 sessions of 2 hours each. And we explore the exercises in bits and pieces. So today's module is about positivity. So how do we harness the power of our positive thoughts in our everyday life? Now, Vihasa uses a couple of spiritual tools. So there'll be different kinds of exercises mixed together. For example, you'll see some exercises have a little more of meditation, wherein through the power of peace, we discover how we feel about the topic at hand. Then we have visualization, wherein we learn to create positive images that will help us in our daily life and how to see certain situations in a more positive way. Reflection are very underrated, I feel, because it's making an appointment with yourself to really think about how you feel about a certain topic or what are your thoughts about it. Because in our everyday lives, we get so busy with things to do and places to be that we never really take time out to be with ourselves. So, this gives us an opportunity to do that. Then we have playfulness. So playfulness again is a very wonderful tool because we learn to be lighthearted, we learn to work in groups with each other, and just have fun. So even though we will be talking about values, it doesn't have to be serious. It can be lighthearted and a fun way to explore these things together. Another spiritual tool is listening, and listening is different from hearing. Hearing is just when the words come into you. Listening is when you actually try to understand the content of what you are hearing, and it is at a much deeper level. And it can be very healing. For example, when we go to a counselor or a psychologist, the main thing that they help us heal is through listening to what we have to say and allowing us to figure things out while we talk aloud to them. So, listening can be a very healing tool. Appreciation is another tool. We have now learned to acknowledge and appreciate other people in our teams, but often we forget to appreciate ourselves. Like we're so self critical about things we do or things we haven't done very well. That we forget to acknowledge ourselves for things that have gone well or have been done well by us. And so, appreciation is something we will be using more of in this workshop. And last but not least, one of my favorites, creativity. So we use the tool of creativity in some exercises wherein you'll find that there are some exercises wherein we write poems or we draw certain things and we explore the topic through the right side of our brain, which is the more creative, intuitive, problem-solving side of our brain. And it helps us approach the subject in a completely different way. So this is the kind of activities you can expect in a VIHASA workshop. Now, why facilitation? So the word to facilitate means to make easy. And as facilitators here, we just try to guide the session in a certain way, but it's all about all of us sharing experiences together, coming together to understand and explore the topic. Or like they say, I hear something and I forget. So you might hear a lecture and then you might forget it. I see something and I remember. So you might see how something is done and you might remember bits of it. But when you actually do something yourself is when you truly understand. And so that is what we plan to do here, wherein we truly try to understand by doing the exercises, by having conversations. And it's going to be a very supportive environment. So please feel free to share your experiences so that we can learn and grow together. If there's any more information you want on VIHASA, we have a website called vihasa.in. So you can have a look at what exactly it is, how it's done, and some of our past events. And with that, before we move on to the icebreaker, I would request all the facilitators to just introduce themselves. And I'll start with myself. Om Shanti, everyone. My name is Kosha. I'm an artist and illustrator by profession, and I've been facilitating for 3 or 4 years now. And I've been with the Brahma Kumaris for over 7 years. So welcome everyone to VIHASA. It's a pleasure to have you here with us today. Over to you, Vimish. Bye. Thank you.
A very good Sunday, a very good day to everyone. Om Shanti. My name is Vimish Mehta, and by profession, I am an exporter of fashion jewelry and also a personal mindset and a mindset trainer and a coach. So I joined Brahma Kumaris in 2008, and I've been a part of that ever since. and been in VIHASA since the last 3 years now. So that's about me.
Om Shanti, everyone. My name is Apurva, and I've been associated with the Brahma Kumari since 2019. And it is only last year that I've been helping Koshaben to facilitate some of the online Vihasa sessions. So with that, let's move on to this icebreaker session. So feel free to share in this session, because since we'll be spending the next 2 hours together, it would be really nice that we interact with a lot of openness and share each other's thoughts. So for this icebreaker session, what is the one positive thought you had about yourself at the start of the session? So anyone who would like to begin?
We can take a minute to just think about this, because we all knew today's topic was positivity. So we might have come with some expectations or with some thoughts about it. And you've heard what VIHAS actually stands for. So if even just one positive thought that you've had about this session, or what you want to achieve, or even about yourself, since today's all about positivity, we can just think about that. And whoever is ready can unmute themselves and share your thoughts. Or if you're more comfortable, you can write it down on chat so we all can have a look. So it would be really nice if all of us could participate and learn and grow together. Thank you. So whoever's ready can just share the positive thought that they've had about themselves. Vijay brother, would you like to share the positive thought that you've had?
Om Shanti, Didi ji,
Shanti.
all my dear brothers and sisters, please accept a greetings of love, peace, happiness, and bliss. So the positive thought is, may you all be happy, may you all be peaceful, may you all be loveful, may you all be blissful. God bless you all. Om Shanti.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that lovely positive greeting at the very start of today's session. Anyone else would like to just share any positive thought that you're getting right now about the session, about yourself? Anything at all?
We have a lot of new members joining today. So yes, please feel free to share
And you can
any
feel
positive.
free to open your audios and videos as well, because it would be lovely to see you all.
Yes.
So, Dr. Ashwini, would you like to share something? Ashwini Bhai is with us. So the workshop would work really well if all of us could participate in all the activities, and it would be really nice because then we just learn from each other. I think Ashwani Bhai is traveling right now, so he's written on group chat. From today's session, I will take inspiration from myself to be like a positive rose. And that's lovely. Thank you so much for sharing. Maria says, may we all have a wonderful divine Sunday. That's lovely. Thank you so much for lovely comments coming our way. Anyone else would like to unmute themselves and share something? Please feel free to do so. So you can open your audios and share with us if you want.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
I remain constant happy every day, and I enjoy all the scenes in the drama of life. And
That's a lovely thought.
yeah, I'm free from all the bondages. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Sylvia, sister. So that's such a powerful thought to start with, that I'm free from all bondages, I'm happy, and I'm accepting and fine with everything that, happens in my life and that drama puts in my way. And that's a wonderful, wonderful way to start today's session. Dr. Purvi says it would be great to have the session and a cheerful mind for a change from the daily work. So, yeah, Sunday is definitely a good day for us to take a pause from our daily routine and just change our mindset and just recharge ourselves a little bit. Anyone else would like to share something before we move on to today's exercises? Because we would love to get to know you, or, just a little bit. So, since we're going to be discussing all the exercises together, interacting with each other, it would be nice to know everybody. Okay, so with that, we move on to, yes, Usha Ben, would you like to share something?
Good morning, everyone. Seeing the rose, a thought has come in my mind that may we all remain as fresh as the rose and spread the fragrance, the beautiful fragrance of joy and happiness throughout the world.
That's lovely. Thank you so much for these wonderful thoughts, everybody. Wonderful way to start the morning. And with that, we'll move on to the first exercise for today. I would request, so just before that, we'll recap a little bit about what we did the last two VIHASA sessions, because today is part 3 of positivity. So part 1 was all about exploring what positivity means. So what is the benefit of positive thinking? We learned a little bit about valuing the self. We had a meditation called Inspired to Be Me, and we learned the techniques to appreciate others properly. In part 2, we had an activity called Surfacing Positive Thoughts, wherein we really dug deep within and we tried to surface positive thoughts about different areas of our life. And there was an activity called Thoughts into Actions, wherein how do I actually work on just a positive thought that I've had? And so, with that, we'll come into part 3, just a little bit about positivity. You might already know this, but it's a good reminder for us to remember that positivity has an impact on our physical health as well as our mental health. So it improves our health. It leads to greater energy and satisfaction because we're working on a higher energy level when we're positive. It enhances clarity and decision making. And these are some of the points we covered when we were talking about benefits of positivity in part 1. It increases a sense of well-being when we're positive about things in life. And we have a vibrancy that kind of radiates to people around us, be it our family, friends, clients, anybody. So it's very important for us to be aware of our own thought patterns and beliefs and consciously choose positive thinking. And that's something we're going to learn a little later today. How do we consciously choose a positive thought pattern? And with that, we'll start with a wonderful visualization called SOS. And I would request Vimish Bhai to take us through this. Thank you. Over to you, Vimish.
All right. So before we get into the visualization of SOS, let's take a couple of moments to stabilize ourselves and keep everything aside that is there. Now, keeping aside doesn't mean that you have anything on your lap or anything, but even keeping aside something that is there on your mind so that you can be fully here. What I wish to appreciate about each one of you being here is that you've taken these 2 hours for your own introspection and for your own growth when you could have done anything else. So a few moments of silence before we start. Let's stabilize ourselves and make our own self available completely to our own self. This is the time, this is the investment that you're making for your own growth, for your own elevation, not only for yourself, but for everyone you come in communication, in touch with. All right. So SOS, what is the first thing that we think about when it comes to SOS? We think about it as save our souls, isn't it? But here we are going to have a different meaning of SOS, and that is standing back, observing and steering. So standing back, when you stand back and you feel the silent space between the situation and where you are. So one, there is a situation, and along with that, there is you, and there is usually a collapse. When you don't have the situation, you feel that you are the situation. So you stand back and you see that space that, okay, the situation is distinct from where you are. The second is observe. What you're observing is seeing where your thoughts are leading you to. So one, there is a default way in which your thoughts will go, which would be more in the domain of suffering or maybe going down or sulking. And then here you would look at catching yourself and looking, are the thoughts going in the direction where you want to go, what the result that you want? And the third is steering. So steering is about when you start to have your thinking go, which will actually serve that situation. Steer your thinking to where you want it to be. How we would think if there is a situation and you would get angry. Is anger the answer? Is upset the answer? So when you stand back and you observe the default way in which you would think or operate, and then you steer your actions, your thoughts, your language, everything in the direction that would enable you to get that result. So let's go through a bit of the learning about it. So it is possible to apply this process to convert a negative response into something that you can constructively bring through. Now we know that we are familiar with the concept of taking time out. What do? We keep on following one thing as one thing leads into the other. And then we don't know, we think we are operating, but actually you're getting consumed by it. And you get so much wound up. If you take a step back and you see, you will see where you started off and where you actually are ways apart. So there are exercises that we shall be going through in which you will be able to have control over yourself and maybe the situation and maybe the outcome as well. But what really matters is how stable you are in any situation, in any challenge that comes your way. So what you do, that you review the situation. How you review it as if you're not there in that situation. It is more like, if you see, if someone else has a problem, it is so easy for you to give a solution to anyone. But when it comes to you being in that same state, you're not able to think constructively. So here, you got to detach yourself from that situation. Be with yourself and see what is the solution that you can generate out of that. And when you take that, when you stand back and you observe, you can steer your thinking in a direction that will actually work. It will serve the purpose. It will help you be calm and to be stable. And in VIHASA, we practice using a lot of affirmations. And the affirmation that you can use is anything like, I'm aware of myself as calm and peaceful, or I'm happy and content, or I know that I'm taking control of the situation. All of these are powerful methods that will allow you to take control of yourself in a situation. The SOS technique, as we say, may not really always help an outcome. What it definitely does, it supports you to maintain your stability and save you from the stress that leaves you serving yourself and others. And if you see, one disturbance that you have in one aspect usually spills on your other commitments. If you're disturbed in one place, and if something else comes up, you have an impact coming up there as well. So that is something that you can save. And one of the most powerful techniques that we have learned and we've been practicing is saying stop. If you're at a traffic light, no matter how much in a rush you are, unless you break the rules, you usually stop when the light turns red. No matter what it is, you will stop. The same way, our thoughts actually create havoc with our emotions, and they completely displace us. We want to be peaceful, but we can't be. Why? Because we are hijacked by the situation and our approach to the situation. If you reflect in certain situations in your life, when things get too overwhelming, what you'd want to do is just say, stop it, just stop. So here, the practice is when you tell stop to your own self. Stop means stop. If you ever are walking or running on the treadmill, if there's an emergency, there's the red button. If you just tug it, it just stops. The same way, no reasons, no explanations, nothing. Stop can thus diffuse charged emotions and allow a painful thought to dissolve. So let's go through a visualization exercise that will enable us to practice this in our day-to-day life. Shaban, are we putting some music on?
I'll put on some stuff.
All right, great. All right. Sit comfortably and relax. Let your whole body relax. You can close your eyes, and if you're comfortable to keep them open, that's fine as well. Let the noises around you not disturb you. Be with your own self. Take deep breaths. Let your breathing become easy. Let your thoughts quieten down. Now, think of a difficult or an unresolved situation in your life at present. It could be anywhere. It could be with family, with relatives, with friends, at work. Pick up a real situation in which you're facing difficulty or there's something that is unresolved. Visualize that scene as if you're watching a movie. It is like you are watching your own situation as an observer. Ask yourself, what is the interaction like? What thoughts and feelings are being experienced and exchanged? What is each person's body language? What is the experience that you're having at the moment? What is the expression on your face? What is the atmosphere? What effect is it having on your body? What kind of sensations are you feeling in your head? Look at your jawline. Look at your shoulders. Look at your breathing. What effect does it have on others around you? And most importantly, what is the outcome? Now, be silent for a minute and allow yourself to be calm and return to a positive inner space. Be silent for a minute and allow yourself to be calm, absolutely calm and composed, and return to a positive inner space. Now imagine what value or quality you would like to bring to that situation. What is the value or the quality you would like to bring to that situation? Put this quality into your mind. Really hold it and tune to it. Tune yourself to that quality. That quality could be any. could be empathy, sympathy, understanding, compassion, consideration, any. See that quality, sense it, hear it, and touch it. Imagine that quality is going into your whole being, from head to toe, into your muscles, your face, your shoulders, your chest, your back, your skin, your jaw. In fact, into your whole being. Into your fingers and into the digits of your feet, to the sole of your feet, to your palms, to your neck. Now, having taken time to create new thoughts, screen another picture close to you. Another reel, another movie in front of the previous one. Now play that same scene again, but with your chosen qualities in action. You are the spectator and you are the actor. Can you see your positive qualities or values affecting that situation or interaction? Reflect. Look into this for a few moments. What is it that you see now? What is the interaction like now? What are your thoughts or feelings? What is your body language? What is the expression on your face? What is the effect on your body? How are your shoulders now? How is your neck now? How is your temple now? How is your jawline now? How do you feel? What is the atmosphere like now? What is the effect on others out of you coming from these qualities? And what does the outcome look to be now? What other positive qualities are you able to use in that situation or interaction? As you reflect on the difference, look at what is it that you've let go of? What did you let go? What is it that you set free? And what have you added? What have you brought forth in that situation, with those people, in that condition? Now, slowly allow yourself to become aware of the room. You may rub your palms and gently put it over your eyes. Take a few deep breaths with a nice, warm smile. And you may have a stretch also if you wish. You can open your eyes and come back to the presence of the room. All right, welcome back. Yes, anyone would like to share their experience? Would like to go first?
Om Shanti Bhaiji,
Yes, brother.
Ramesh Bhaiji, so beautifully meditation you did, and we have followed your each version, and then we found the problem which was there is still there, but our mind was so stable, and we found now as if there was no problem, unnecessarily worries, unnecessarily feeling of that problem has gone out. It was so relaxing that still that problem is there, but we are finding that that problem is too small to be worried about, although it looks to be a big problem, but it is a too small. So by doing this meditation exercise, visualizing, we observe that we can overcome any problem. And the virtue which I found was to surrender. Once I surrendered, I found that the help of God is with me, and no problem can make me unstable. And success is our birthright. So we will be successful, we will be happy. Om Shanti Bhaiji.
Thank you, brother. Yes, in fact, when there is a situation, there is a challenge, we need more of ourselves. But that is the time we don't make ourselves available to our own self. It's like saying that when we are in a situation where we are ill or sick or not well, it's like saying, I'll take the medicine when I get well. Whereas that is the time when you would require it. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, brother. You did it very, very nicely, because we do a lot of meditation being a children of Baba. But I really want to congratulate you with my heart that each word of you was very, very powerful. God bless you, Bhaiji.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Yes, who else?
Hi, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm joining this session for the first time, and I'm really happy to be part of the process. Yes, stop, think, and act, which is SOS, which is absolutely clean, clear. When you withdraw and find yourself away from the situation, and when you are in the situation, we'll certainly realize that we are attached to everything. you are sensing the feelings, emotion, your shoulders are tight and everything. Your mind is not thinking anything. You are in a reactive mode. This is what I could sense in that situation. And when you come out of, you detach from the situation, you really, when I did that myself, I understand that we take a cutoff procedure applied to the thing, and then we realize, and I this is what I believe, it certainly has helped, and it does help. Like by detaching myself, we realize that there is very little that you can control the situation in that, and you uh, try to see that you are trying to control the uncontrollables. And once you have the realization and you connect with the Baba, as was said by Vijay Bhai, we really realize that yes, now what I can do myself in this situation, it is the strength which I get from Baba and apply to that situation, that you are detached, and then you add the value. Because like what you just said, the medicine, what is needed is identified, and then we apply, and don't look at the outcome, do the action, relieve yourself. First I relieve myself from the situation, and then I try to apply myself, and I'm not bothered about the outcome of the result, what it is coming. But I get a satisfaction, moral satisfaction, that what under the given situation, I have done my best to resolve. But ultimately, what outcome comes, I will accept it as it comes to me. So this is how I visualize. And thank you very much for taking me through and us through the exercise, which was very nice. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, Arun Bhai.
Thank you.
As you were sharing what you're sharing, what came to me is that everything has two uses. Like a knife can be used to cut a fruit, and the same knife can be used to harm someone. The same way, detachment, when it comes from resignation or giving up on your responsibility, that is something that would not go the right way. But detach yourself to generate yourself and come back. We say, when there is a situation and say, okay, give me a break. Break is when you would want to oxygenate yourself, come back, so that you can serve the situation and the commitment.
Absolutely.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank
brother.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. One more person who would like to share. I think Koshaben, in the interest of time, one more person is fine, right?
Yes.
Okay. Would like to share?
Would anyone like to even share what they felt? Like, just how did you feel doing the visualization? Even in just a sentence or two, most welcome to do so. You can even write it down on chat if you find that to be more comfortable. You can just write down on chat how you felt during the visualization.
One of the things that stop us from sharing is, how will it look? Whatever I'm sharing, is it going to make a difference? My invitation is just feel free and share. Just open up yourself.
The lesson which we got through this whole episode, of course, it was very nice the way you said it. But what we learn is it's always best to be a spectator to a situation. It's always better to be a spectator and look at the situation dispassionately, and that will help us to come to the right conclusion, I suppose.
Yes, Ushaben, that's right. Detachment, or more than detachment, it's when you're out of that situation, you can objectively see. And there's also a saying, no, that when things are too close to you, when they're too close to you, you can't see for yourself. Why? Because they're too close. So it's important to kind of distance it so that you can see it with another perspective, a perspective that would serve and that will allow you to observe it and then steer it in the way that will support. Thank you, sister. Yes, our sister is writing, overcoming expectations from others. Yes, more than overcoming expectations, having expectation is very human. Like right now Kosha Ben, myself and Apurva Ben are expecting from all of you to share, right? So it's very human, but not to be attached to that expectations, not to be disturbed or shaken by if those expectations are not fulfilled, is something that would be serving even more. All right, Kosha Ben, I guess I'm done from my end. Thank you very, very much, everyone, for your participation, even though you may be reflecting and being in that experience. Uh, Koshaben will now take you through recycling thoughts, and she'll take it up from here.
Thank you so much, Vimish Bhai, for that lovely exercise. It really, put things into perspective for us and prepared us for the next few exercises that we have planned. So, everyone, I would request you all to grab a piece of paper and a pen if it's possible, because in this exercise, we're going to learn how to recycle our thoughts. We're going to learn how to transfer our negative thoughts into a positive cycle of thoughts. And it would be helpful if you had a pen and paper, because then you could actually do the exercises and it would be more beneficial. So we'll start with figuring out, like just thinking about how most of the thoughts that we have, like when Vimish Bhai took us through the activity and we were thinking of a challenging situation. So usually what happens is when we are faced with a challenging situation, we realize that sometimes we get into cycles of negative thinking. And these are probably stemming from a negative self belief that we have, that maybe I can't do this, or I'm not good enough, or this is just never going to happen, something like that, So we get into these cycles of negative thought, negative belief. And usually we find that these kind of thoughts that stem out of worry or out of just thoughts of the past, future, like Arun brother said, things that we can't really control, right? We're trying to control the uncontrollable. And so when we start getting into these cycles of negative thought, um, we are creating more and more negative thoughts. Like the cycles are just going on and on. It's a vicious cycle that happens. And if you really go to the root of where these thoughts are coming from, usually it's maybe lack of self-esteem, lack of self-respect, maybe lack of self-confidence. And it just becomes a harmful habit. Like if anything happens, before we really figure out how bad the situation is, we're already thinking the worst that can happen. And that just creates a chain of bad thinking. And the worst part is that these feelings and emotions that we put into this negative cycle, it just creates so much anxiety and self-doubt that even if the situation was not grave, our thoughts create our reality and the situation becomes worse than it actually was. And that's all because that's the kind of energy that we are creating because of our negative thoughts, and that's the energy we're putting out there into the world. But if you think about it, if we can have a negative thought cycle, we can very well also have a positive thought cycle, right? We can, so how these cycles of thought work is one negative thought leads to another, and then it just goes on and fuels itself. But the same thing can happen with positive cycle of thoughts, wherein if a challenge comes and we see it in positive light, we see it in the light that it's gonna give us the energy, it's gonna give us new skills that we're going to gain by learning how to deal with the situation, things like that. And then you just put a positive spin on the situation and it fuels you, it gives you more energy, you're more recharged, you start seeing that situation in a positive way and you're more excited to tackle it and it becomes so easy to overcome it. So it's not necessary that every situation is going to make us feel negative, but that's just what we are used to. It's a habit, right? So today we're going to try and break that habit a little bit and see how can we turn our usual negative thoughts about any situation into a positive thought. So I would request whoever has a paper and pen could probably just draw these three circles on your paper. One is going to be the cycle of negative thinking. One is going to be the cycle of positive thinking. And in between, you're just going to have a circle which is going to have positive words. Now, what I would request you all to do is take some time, take about a few minutes, okay, about 5 minutes, and let's just introspect and think, what are the kinds of negative cycles of thought that I am used to in my life? What are the kind of negative, what is the kind of negative thinking that happens in my life? Whether it's in my work life, whether it's in my personal life, just think of an actual situation where you would think of things in a negative way. Okay. And we're going to sit and we're going to think about that for a while. We're going to try and identify the negative cycles of thought in our life. And then what we're going to do is we're going to write down the negative cycles in the circle. That this is the kind of thoughts I have when I'm going through that negative vicious cycle. Then the next step after we've written down that would be to think of some positive words to combat that negative cycle. So for example, if I have to, if I have an exam or if I have a very difficult client that I have to deal with, I start thinking negatively. Oh, they're not going to pay me on time. They're not going to show up at the meeting on time. They're always late. They don't understand what I'm trying to tell them. You know, just so many things that happen. And maybe every time we work with the same client, before they do anything, we already have a negative cycle of thought for them. So how do I stop that? How do I combat that? So I'm going to think of some positive words which will help me stop that negative cycle of thought. And so those positive words could be acceptance of people as they are. I would stay calm, stay peaceful. Remember that just because they express themselves a certain way, it has nothing to do with who I am as a person. Just things like that, you know, just little reminders to change the way we think about certain situations or people. And then we will create a positive cycle of thought using these positive words. So the positive cycle of thought would be that, you know, I I accept myself as I am. I accept other people as they are. They are accommodative. They are, you know, just use those words and create your own positive cycle depending on your situation. So next time you're faced with the same situation, you will remember this exercise and you'll try and change your thought into the positive side of it. So that's what this exercise is going to be about. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. You can ask your questions, but we'll take about 10 minutes. Okay, 10 to 15 minutes. I'll play some soft background music and we'll all just sit and think of this exercise. Think of our cycles of negative thought, think of positive words, and then write down the cycle of positive thinking. Okay, is that clear with everybody? Any questions, any doubts, please do let me know. Okay, so we'll begin. Let's take 10 to 15 minutes. Nisha Ben, do you have a question? You're on mute. You can unmute yourself.
This-
Is everyone done with the exercise? Does anyone need more time to write down things or think about stuff?
Yeah, little more time.
Okay. So we'll take about 3-4 minutes more. Is that okay?
Okay.
We'll do that. Sorry. I feel most of you might be done. Does anyone need any more time? Or I think everyone's got sufficient time to think of some negative to positive cycles. Yes? Yes, I would request any of you to unmute yourselves and share as much as you would want about this exercise, about what you've managed to jot down, and whether you found this to be helpful. So, does anyone want to share anything about it?
Om Shanti,
Om
Usha Didi
Shanti.
ji.
Yes,
Didi
Vijay.
ji, this workshop is beautiful. Now, with Baba's grace and with meditation and attending all these workshops, we avoid any cycle of negative thinking. But since the workshop makes us to think of something, so I will share with you. I am belong to Gurgaon, but now I am in Petaluma, USA. So here the timing is 9:46 p.m. Now tomorrow's plan was coming in my mind that we have to go to Nevoto, which is a Anbhuti, is a place here where the Baba's retreat is there, like our ORC. Then tomorrow we have a power to detach workshop. So Amrit Vela is there. So I was feeling these are the negative. I wanted to create a cycle how I will become not negative and attending, and then the positive words came. We are masters of Shaktivan. We are powerful soul. We are world transformers. We are Purvaj. So with these words came to my mind, and then the positive thinking started. Look, when we are going to transform world, how can I not follow Amrit Vela? How I cannot follow the power to detach workshop, and how I cannot reach at Nevato, the Baba's place? Everything will be okay because the canopy of Baba is on us. So the as the smriti, so is the sthiti, and as is the sthiti, as is the world. You get it. So I think everything will be good. And so, although I am detached observer in attending all workshops which I attend of yours as well as of our Manoj Bhaiji, but I find that even I am here now and morning also we attended Power of Joy from Sister Marine. So we are detached, but so attached, beautifully attached with you workshops and all that we get so much peace, love, and happiness. Om Shanti Didi ji.
Om Shanti. Thank you so much, Vijay Bhai. So, I guess you used the power of affirmations by creating positive affirmations for yourself and reminding yourself, of that you are Master Sarva Shaktiman or whatever it is. And all those positive affirmations helped you create from negative to positive. So, that's a lovely thought. Thank you so much for sharing with us, Vijay Bhai. Arun Bhai, did you want to share something with us as well?
Yeah, yeah. Again, this exercise is a good one. Yeah. What I looked at is from the practical experience in the business field or the where you have various situations. Like I picked up one which a loss-making organization. I'm part of that. So loss, then the vicious circle of thinking negative thoughts coming to mind. Loss means no cash.
Yeah.
Creditors in front of my desk to ask for the money. I have to raise another loan for making the payment to the supplier. If I have to go for the higher loan means higher interest, then I will be losing more money. I have to run away from the whole business, and afterwards, then there will be some court cases, and then the mind takes you even to the criminal situation. So this is one vicious circle of negative thoughts coming to the mind. Then you sit back, relax, and reflect on the situation. What best I can do, which we call that as going back to the drawing room. We go to the drawing room. Then what are the options available for me? I can relax myself. My body is relaxed. I meet the team, different team from the finance side, the supplier side, purchase department, and like this, and we have a joint meeting. We come up with some solutions possible. Then we come up with the SWOT analysis we do, and we reach to a conclusion that who can do what, and then go on to a negotiating table to find the solutions. Then organize the meetings with the suppliers and organize everything and come up with then I look at from the before I go on to the positive side, we also do the analysis of what the people can do. So our thoughts, there is a flow of good thoughts coming in mind to find the solution in given, whether it is a short-term problem or medium-term problem or the long-term problem, and how we can match the short-term, medium, and long-term. And with the SWOT analysis, we reached the conclusion how I convert this situation, and then a positive thoughts start flowing in, and like then okay, I have to, there is a situation I have for 6 months a critical time, then I come out of the problem, and then I invite even the supplier to form a joint venture for the joint problem. So it's not only my problem, it is his problem also. So we try to find the solution together, and communicate is a better way of, so we sense, we pass on those vibrations to the people, and then we find the common solution to the problem and what can be an acceptable thing for coming short-term, medium, and long-term solution, and try to convert the risk into opportunity kind of situation. So these words are helping to find the solution. Yeah, that's it, what I wanted to
That's
communicate.
lovely. Thank you, Arun brother, because such a practical situation, and probably to some extent all of us can relate, right? In our everyday lives, those who are working, the ones who are running their own businesses, they know very well of these fears that can catch hold of us. And so it's so important, like how you, instead of becoming problem focused, you decided to be solution focused. And the fact that you are not alone, right? Because even the suppliers would probably, it's their problem too, not just yours. So it's so important for us to really, like Vimesh Bhai told us in his commentary, take a step back and be a distant observer, because then you can see the full picture. If we're too close, we can't see all aspects of it very clearly. So that was a lovely example. Thank you so much for sharing with us, Arun brother. And I'm sure all of us benefited from this wisdom. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Nisha Ben, would you like to share something? You've unmuted yourself. Nisha Ben, are you there with us? We can't hear you. Okay, while she's figuring that out, Yashodhini Ben, would you like to share?
Good morning, Kusha Ben.
Good morning.
Actually, I'm very new in this BK journey. But what I would like to share is this all workshops are really very beneficial. You people are doing a great work. I will say, I'm a healthcare worker, and this VIHASA session is especially for the healthcare workers, right? So I'm correlating this. How can I inculcate these values, so that really help me to make myself good at my personal level, professional level. That brings up the positivity, of course, the values make you more stable, calm, quiet. And whenever I'm getting the time, I try to connect with you and try to attend these sessions. So I would really like to appreciate you as a team, for you whole team for this great work.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's all the Supreme's doing. He's the one who kind of reaches out to all of us and knows what each of us requires and does so. So we're all very lucky and blessed to be here. And so thank you so much. I'm so happy to hear that it has been helping you on your journey. And I hope you continue to join us,
Yes, sure.
for future
Yeah.
sessions. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Yashodhani. So would anyone else wants to? Shanisha Ben, can you connect with us now? I think you're unmuted, but we can't hear you. Okay, Shiksha, do you want to share something? So whoever wants to share can unmute themselves and please share however you. Yes, Nisha Ben, can you unmute yourself?
Yes.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, how are you, Didi? How are you,
Good,
Kosha?
good, good. It's lovely to see you again.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm in Hyderabad, so I don't meet you in Pilabala. So I want to tell everybody that the more we keep the things in positive, negative has no place to enter in ourselves. And that is the best way we can uh, uh, be positive all the time, each moment, and we can enjoy our life. That is what I believe.
Thank you. That's so
Thank
true. So we know the benefits of positivity in our lives, and it's going to be so much more beneficial if we try to remember that. And so many examples in front of you, right, about how we can convert that negativity into positivity. Ashwini Bhai has also written something on chat. He said that he's had many failures in life, okay, which leads to negative cycles of thought. And he has learned to rise by falling. So, you know how we've heard so many times that failure just is a stepping stone to success, and about how you should rise like a phoenix every time from your own ashes of failure to move on and rise again. So today he is an experienced person. So his positive words are that he has to get up every time he falls, rise again, and he is using self affirmations, and he is today an experienced person. Through all his failures have taught him and given him the experience. So that is his cycle of positive thought. And he says we can't let whoever says that we cannot do it, um, we cannot let that get to us, because God is with us and God always supports us. So it's okay if human beings don't always do that, because God does. So thank you for sharing that, Ashwini Bhai. That's lovely. So would anyone else want to share anything about this exercise? Yes, Usha Ben, would you like to share?
Yeah, this is for a very, very close relative of mine. And he's an extremely intelligent person who is well versed with this particular field also. But when it comes to himself, perhaps he doesn't apply it. So some of the negative thinking that he has, basically he's a very negative person. So at times he feels he doesn't respect himself, and having achieved a great status in life, still he feels there is so much more to have achieved, which he hasn't. And he is not able to be in the present. He's always either in the past or in the future, and always wanting to prove that he's better than many, better than most, in fact. So some of the positive words are like, live in the present, and there should not be too much comparison, and be realistic, set short-term goals, try to be more objective than subjective. Things may not be as dark as he has imagined.
Yeah,
So that's it.
that's true. I think a lot of us can relate to that, because usually we
Yeah,
think
he
things
has
are
all the
worse.
answers. He has all the answers. In fact, before his retirement, he used to give lectures on all this. But after retirement, somehow or the other, He's very negative, and he has not followed what he has been preaching.
Yeah.
So these are some of the thoughts which I put forth.
Thank you so much for sharing with us. It's a good reminder for all of us, I feel. Thank you. Would anyone else like to share anything about this exercise? What are your negative to positive cycles, or anything at all about this exercise? Um, there is also one more thing. We have a WhatsApp group. I have just shared the link on chat. So in this WhatsApp group, it's only open for admins to post. So you will not be spammed with a lot of messages, but you will be updated on all the future workshops that we will have for VIHASA and otherwise. Some values workshops that happen every month. And also we will be sharing the recording of today's session, which we will be uploading on YouTube. We will share the link to that on our WhatsApp group. So if you are interested in staying updated on future workshops, please do just click the link to join the group and stay connected. So for those who are interested, that's the option. Okay, so with that, we move on to the last exercise for today, which is going to be a meditation on everything that we have kind of absorbed and gathered today. So we'll just be summarizing that into a lovely meditation exercise wherein we can internalize all these learnings. So over to Apurva to take us through a lovely meditation exercise. Over to you, Apurva. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Kosha. So the meditation session says tuning into positive thoughts. So the first thought we have is tuning into positive thoughts. What could it be? So positivity, I can relate it to it as a radio which has frequency. And when the radio catches the right frequency, we are able to get the sound. Similarly, if we are positive and our mind is silenced, we can actually feel those positive vibrations and get clarity, and all those negative cycle of doubts, self-doubt, lack of confidence, despondency, everything just disappears. So you can make a mental note during the meditation of any inspiration or any positive thought which comes in your mind. So this is the aim for the meditation. And so yes, let's all tune in to the vibrations of positivity, joyfulness, and cheerfulness. Sit comfortably with your feet on the floor, hands, shoulders, and face relaxed. Allow yourself to become quiet and take a few deep breaths to draw in the fresh air. Breathe out, letting go of any tensions. Each in-breath, imagine yourself filling up with positive thoughts and feelings. Breathe out positivity, letting it reach up your scalp. Breathe out, feeling your whole body relax and tension draining away. Breathe naturally. Observe your breathing. And as you breathe in, and again observe it, As you breathe out, let your breathing settle down and become deeper. Perhaps there are thoughts whirling around. Take your mind back to the image of a relaxed and positive you that you have created in an earlier meditation. The image reflects what you can be when you're tapping into your inner strength. It reflects your inner self. You might like to stay with that image or create a new one. Sitting in silence, let a thought about being content come into your mind. It may be a thought about what being satisfied and content means to you. Be an image of contentment for a moment. You can feel your inner calm and tranquility start to resurface. You experience how different it is to shift from one mindset to a more soothing, happy, and a contented mindset. So you stay with this soothing, comforting thought. Perhaps in your mind's eye, you can stay there even for a longer time and really start to absorb this change. Soak in the calm, or the thought or image which only evokes peace and contentment in you. stay there. When you're ready, turn your thoughts to the calm of your breathing. Return to observing your breath. Become aware of your body, your chair, and your surroundings. Welcome back, everyone.
Thank you, Apurva, for that lovely meditation session. I hope all of you could really experience all of what we've been talking about since the last almost 2 hours now. If anyone wants to share the experience of this meditation, you can unmute yourselves and tell us how you felt before we conclude today's session. If anyone has any feedback, wants to share the experience, please feel free to do so. You can unmute yourselves and let us know how you felt. Arun Brother saying it was wonderful. Thank you very much. Arun Brother, would you like to share something?
Yeah, the same feeling. I just want to express myself. Yes, it is really wonderful. Great session indeed. And really it helped me to go through, connect myself to Baba. The peaceful vibrations, they last longer. And great job by the team, everyone. And thank you very much for this nice session indeed. And we'll definitely join in future for the different sessions. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Arun Brother. We look forward to interacting with you again.
Yeah, no, I'm part of the process. So no, I will be part of it. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Vijay Brother, would you
Om
like
Shanti.
to Om Shanti.
Shanti.
Apurva Didi ji, you are great. You do everything perfect. We really enjoy your company. Your meditation was wonderful. All the facilitators are doing a wonderful job. God bless you all. Om Shanti.
Thank
Shanti.
you. Om Shanti. So before we take any more feedback, I'd just like to review the session before we leave. So we started with SOS, which was standing back, observing, and steering our thoughts in the right direction. Then we had an exercise on recycling thoughts, wherein we learned how to take our negative thought of a negative cycle of thought into a more positive thought. And then Apurva took us through this lovely meditation just to internalize all this and experience it within. So that was today's session. Just a few things to remind you of. We have this website called justaminute.org, where you can customize your meditations. They are 1 minute meditations that you could probably use throughout the day just to get your thinking back into a more positive frame of mind. So if it's something you or somebody that you know would benefit from, you can definitely tell them about justaminute.org. And you can even share the WhatsApp group link, which is on chat, with people who you think will benefit from future VIHASA sessions. We'll have the next one sometime in March, either the second or third Sunday. And we will be posting about the upcoming sessions on the WhatsApp group. So if it's something you or somebody you know would be interested in, please do share with them, and because it would be lovely to meet new people and interact with all of you again. If you have any questions, please write to pk.omshanti.light@gmail.com. And thank you so much for attending today's session with us. If anyone wants to share some more feedback or wants to share anything at us before we leave. Yes, Ashwini, brother. Sure.
ओम शांति
Om
मुझे हर
Shanti.
हफ्ते मैं ये प्रोग्राम इतना अच्छा लगता है कि हर हफ्ते मैं इसका इंतजार करता हूँ काफी, क्योंकि 2.5 घंटे का सत्संग ये कब मनोरंजन के रूप में हो जाता है कि पता नहीं चलता, तो काफी अच्छा रहता है और सीखने को काफी चीजें मिलती है और नए नए आत्माओं से मुलाकात हो जाता है। थैंक यू। ओम शांति।
Thank you, Ashwini brother. Om Shanti. Ashwini brother has been attending VIHASA with us since the very beginning. So we started online VIHASAs in July of 2020 in the lockdown, and we used to have them every Sunday at first. And from last year, from 2021, we have them once a month now on a Sunday. So thank you, Ashwini brother, for staying with us throughout. And it's always lovely to meet new friends and learn together. So if anyone else wants to share something, oh yes, we have to do a group photo. Thank you for reminding us, Vijay brother. So I request everyone to please start your videos, and we'll take a screenshot so all of us have a group photo to remember this session. And we'll be posting this group photo on our WhatsApp group. So if Pawan, Manjula, Sridhar, everyone could just start their videos, we'll have a quick picture. And yes, we will be posting today's recording of today's session. We'll post it on YouTube today sometime, and by tomorrow you'll receive a link to it on the WhatsApp group. Okay, so is everyone ready? 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, lovely. So I've taken a picture and we will be sharing it with you sometime today. So thank you so much for attending today's session.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much. Thank
Thank
you.
you very
थैंक
much.
यू विमेश भाई जी,
Thank
बहुत
you.
अच्छा
Thanks a
था
lot.
आपका।
It was lovely.
Shanti. Bye.